Hey everybody, it's me, Mystique Summers, live in action for you. And you're listening to Drag Dish, hosted by Naomi Wynters, available wherever you get your podcasts, even on Cricket.
Hashtag feel your beat, boo. It just changed the game. I see that runway there. You better make room. Are you coming to the floor? What? When I come get it, it's my runway. It's my runway. Do you feel defeated? No, that's your runway. That's your runway.
Yes, it's Naomi Wynters, and thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Drag Dish. I have from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 2, she's the 10th queen to walk into the workroom, hailing from Atlanta, Georgia, welcoming Miss Nicole Paige Brooks.
How are you, Miss Wynters?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Good. I'm excited to chat with you. If I can remember from so long ago what happened on that show. I should have watched it to refresh my memory.
It's fun. It's fun. It's kind of better that you didn't watch it. You know, what
Right.
do you remember from it?
For me also, probably.
Right. Well, first of all, for Drag Dish and from thehomoculture.com, thank you so much for taking a time out of your busy schedule to speak with us and share a little bit of behind the scenes and whatever trivia we can dig out of you or pop culture tidbits that we don't know. Okay?
Okay, I'm ready. I'm out of my non-disclosure contract, so I can say whatever I want.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Say it all. Speaking of, what is something that you would say that you wouldn't have had the chance to say while you were still in your non-disclosure or at the time of filming?
For anybody attempting to do it, it's like drag queen prison. You know, because all you see are drag queens and people shuffling drag queens. So unless you want to be on house arrest for, however long, don't sign up. Because we were literally locked away in our rooms for 3 days before filming. We weren't allowed to see anybody. It's like literally trapped in a hotel room with nothing but our thoughts, which is kind of, like solitary confinement. So be prepared for all that kind of madness.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Yeah, that's something that I feel like a lot of the girls have said. One of the bigger things, being locked away in the confinement, or I guess it's probably gotten longer now, but I guess 13 to 16-hour days of filming.
Oh yeah, that was it. 7 a.m. call times, and then but you're really kind of just waiting around most of the time. It's like hurry up and wait. They kind of terrorize you, and they don't feed you well, and they give you very little sleep, and they're trying to irritate you and put you on edge. Within I guess legal limits, but
right.
My season, we were allowed to drink as much as we want. I think they're on a 2-drink minimum now because of season 2. But but my season was just like a free for all. But and then they weren't you don't really eat that much, but like a granola bar and a bag of Cheetos. I mean, I'm sure catering has gone up since my season when they didn't have very much money. So my prize was $20. Now they're giving away $100,000. So.
I've even had a girl from season 4 on, and she's like, "Well, our budget." I will say, I've seen that budget. You can see it if you watched any of the, from season 1 to now. Like the growth is definitely there as far as the show's budget.
Oh yeah, look at our opening compared to season 11's opening. That's crazy. Like our opening is like done in a closet. Their opening is like, and I'm like, bitch, were they sliding down pumps and shit? We didn't have no big ass pump. We had a fan. and 2 people standing next to us. That was put them in a wind tunnel. Yeah, but it's definitely.
Well, that's cool though. I mean, even though you guys were low budget, it's still like the pioneers. I
Oh
remember,
yeah,
and I touched on this like in the last podcast, seeing you guys as the original, queens on TV, like that were just like everyday queens. It was like watching Real World or World Rules at the time.
yeah, totally. I mean, it was definitely, I mean, even though it was season two, we were still kind of unaware of the effect and influence we were going to have on pop culture. And pretty much from everybody from season two has gone on to success to their standard of success or whatever they wanted to achieve as far as traveling and still. I mean, I think season 10 is one of the most memorable casts from Angela to Tyra. From beginning to end.
Right.
I was
You guys did.
I was speaking in elimination order.
You're
And if you saw the season, you know what happened. If you didn't see the season, then I won. How about that?
Too funny. Actually, one of our last guests was Mystique. She said you guys season two was the season of bitches.
I mean, and honestly, I'm a Southern belle to a certain extent. So, my intention for going on the show was to kind of raise the eye level to my son of the standard of drag that I was doing or the level of drag that I was on. And not that
Uh,
anything with just performing inside of a bar or a club is anything wrong with that or to be ashamed of. It's just like I just wanted my son to be like my father is, a drag queen, but he's, the top of the line, the best of the best at that point. And still to this day, to be honest, is how I consider
okay.
myself anyway. I'm not
Of
conceited.
course,
Yeah.
Hey, I'm somebody that's definitely there for being your own number one fan, so whatever. Feel your beat,
Uh,
boo.
yeah, but I was still pretty unaware of what I was signing up for.
Okay. It even going into it still like was it the fact that it was just still so overwhelming or that everything was just happening so fast in the reality of it?
I think a friend of mine signed me up for season one. He was like, RuPaul's having a contest. Come to my house. I was like at a restaurant a block from his house. And he was like, come over and we're going to sign you up for this. Da, da, da. I was like, okay, I don't know what we're signing up for. So we signed up for it. And it was like, when they were voting, people were voting online who they wanted to be on the show and things like that. So we were still really, I mean, kind of unaware of what I was signing up for. And then I got up into the top 10 rather quickly because of my support here in Atlanta and in the South. And I almost got on to season one, and I was kind of grateful I didn't, so I could kind of see the workings of it. And then I was like even more inspired to go on it because it really showed, basically what goes into it is more of the back of the house stuff. In the earlier seasons, you were making a lot of your stuff right there on set, and it wasn't really as scripted as it is. It was more of a do-it-yourself sort of DIY situation, where you had to come in and kind of like put your whole gig together for the runway that week. Where I think now it's much more, they're given an outline of categories. I mean, we were giving a loose outline, but they, the earlier seasons, you really kind of created everything there in the shop. And I like the fact that it kind of showed a dressing room experience, kind of what we deal with in our day-to-day job and the kind of the effort that goes into it, making our own costumes, doing our own hair and our makeup and putting everything together to present for a show. And also in the dressing room, you always have like a new queen, a dancing queen, a bigger girl, a white girl, a black girl, a pageant girl, you know, uh, it kind of just show a comedy queen. It just kind of shows the dynamic of a recipe for a good show is to have all those different equal parts. And that was kind of something I was interested in perpetuating. I was not really interested
Uh-huh.
in being, one of those queens that was shown as, a mouthy, off-color, diva or anything like that. I don't really think I perpetuated that. I kind of edited myself because I knew that my son was going to have to deal with everything that came out of my mouth, so a lot of people,
Right.
a lot of my fans were like, you weren't really yourself. I was like, yeah, I have nephews and nieces, and I don't want them going to school and people shouting at them, "I'm from Chicago, bitch." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wasn't gonna create those. I think I over edited myself, or kind of without even realizing that I was doing it. Shot myself in the foot because I wasn't as animated as I am. If you go to my show at a 21 and up club where I'm, a person like a sailor. So it was, I kind of put myself
Right.
more in a, family friendly sort of state of mind whenever I was on the show, which, I mean, I don't think it's a good or bad thing because I am a professional, person to work with, and that's kind of what I wanted to perpetuate. It's not, and I'm creative. I make all my own stuff. I, do everything,
Right.
my own hair, my own makeup, like hashtag I did it all. That's kind of, I don't, I'm not one of those queens who the majority of my post is me thanking other people for what I have on or what I'm wearing, you know. And I think that's kind of
Okay.
what we're getting
I,
into now is like a whole bunch of thank you lists on every post.
I have noticed that trend heavily, and
And I get it. I mean,
I don't know.
I understand, I understand why people do it, but at the same time, my drag mother Shauna Brooks, we come from a house of, if you make it yourself, nobody else is going to be wearing it. So, I mean, you do run into people out there with the same aerial hair on, everybody, and that's, you go to drag con
Right.
and I don't want to say it's cookie cutter, but, you know, it's, it's, it's somewhat inspiring to see these young queens with their creativity, but then you can't really give them full credit when there's, a bunch of credits in the post. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Right.
Like whenever somebody says thank
Yeah.
you, when somebody says I like your outfit, I want to be able to say thank you, not oh so and so made it. Whenever somebody says I like your hair, I like to be able to say thank you, not oh it came from so and so. Whenever somebody says oh I like your makeup, I like to be able to say thank you instead of oh so and so did it. It's like these, it's all
Right.
my own.
It went from like competing in a pageant to thanking a list of sponsors to
Yeah,
I'm just going to do a show and I'm thanking a
I'm gonna
list
be
of
yeah,
a team,
yeah, yeah.
Okay. No. Um, we've discussed this before because it seems that it's noticed that you said you don't want to call it cookie cutter drag. It was referred to before as Walmart drag or
No, I
Amazon
mean
drag.
the shit's very expensive. I
Mail
mean,
order.
they're charging
Yeah.
$300 for a wig that they're also charging somebody else $300 for it, and somebody else $300 for it.
Right.
So when you go to DragCon, you go to these events, or you go to a pageant, or you go, everybody's got the same sort of fabric gown or same cat suit or the same, wishes that a person's worst nightmare. Like anybody wish, you know,
Right.
get all across the country. You see people posting the same outfit, same logo. But I'm not. I mean, I'm excited for this season because I know the creativity that Nina West has and Brooklyn Heights, and I mean, of course, Vanjie's already RuPaul family, so very interested in her.
Yeah.
And um, Charlotte, terrible names, right? Charlotte,
Uh-huh.
the one, did
Yeah.
she, the one? Are we allowed to say what happened?
The,
Anyway, I
yeah.
mean, I would really,
We've been
so,
talking
yeah,
loosely.
I really I like what she was bringing to the table, but there's some of the girls, are just store bought. How about we call it over the counter drag?
Over the counter.
Over the counter
Okay, over the
drag.
counter drag.
I love her over the
There's our
counter
new
drag.
term.
It's not. But I mean, they still have to carry it and pull it all off, but at the same time, that's not
Yeah.
really how I was raised by I don't know. It's like it's
Right.
more of an originality, and if it comes out of your own head, then you can. I understand designing stuff, but yeah. Anyway,
No, I
I
completely
forgot what the
understand
question
that.
was.
It's and that's okay. That's kind of what we're here. If you answer the question, cool. If you get no, this is what I need to get out. Let's get it out. um, no, but I completely get that. You know, I am in my early 30s, and in some people's eyes, I started drag late, but you know, I was I was busy, working full time and trying to go to, college. I wasn't thinking about drag. So then when I got into it, the people I was learning from and I was fortunate to meet, was early on like Tiffany McRae's and
Yeah.
and Taji Iman
Yeah.
and Tanisha Iman,
Wait a minute.
all
Where are
these
you
old
located?
school
Are you here in the South? Like, wait a minute. Where are you at?
Well, currently I'm in Kentucky, but
Okay.
I grew up in Pensacola, and
Okay.
I started more of my drag in Tampa,
Okay.
and
Those are Southern Florida names. I was like, wait a minute. I was like,
Amy DeMilo, Esme
oh yeah.
Russell,
I love all them.
Erica Norell,
Yes. Love
Tiffany
her.
Ariagas,
Yes.
Tiffany
Yes. Yes.
Middlesex.
Yes.
I know a little bit of
Yes.
drag history, but
Deranged. Deranged.
deranged, yes.
Yes.
Danielle Hunter,
Yes, Danielle. I
Alicia
love her.
Markstone and Dina Castor were in
Yes.
Florida for a while.
Yep. All of
Um,
those are like my aunties and sisters from other mothers and cousins, brothers.
right, let me see. I always mess her name up. Carmela Marcela Garcia.
Yes.
All of
Yeah.
I I feel like I was at a fortunate time, starting drag because I've been able to kind of watch Drag Race and see it evolve as somebody, on the couch and kind of semi being involved nonchalantly.
Yeah.
But
Well,
also at the
the
same
people on the
time,
couch are the most important ones to be involved.
well, yeah,
Without them, there's no
the ones
show.
yelling at the TV,
The
what
ones
are you
sitting at the
doing?
TV, they're the most important ones. Otherwise, there's nothing to
but
no
like
TV.
being seeing that aspect of history happening, but also at the same time, like getting to meet these legends that are actually like part of why this is happening, seeing my then and getting my now at the same time is something that I guess that's cool that a lot of queens don't get to acknowledge. I will probably even say in the last 5 years, there's been so many deaths of like drag legends.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We won't go there with the
And
show.
yeah, I'm not intentionally trying to go there, but
Yeah.
I'm just like just in the thought of the of the history
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of strange
of everything,
when you're watching the Hollywood Medium and he's reading Candace Payne and Erica Andrews comes through. That's kind of crazy. And just like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And you're just like, oh my gosh, I know that's crossing over from the other side. That's so crazy. Yeah. But I mean, that's that's the time we live in.
It's crazy. Let me see. Jeez. And speaking more of with the show, um, and its growth. You also were the first Atlanta queen.
I was
Uh,
the first Atlanta queen to walk in the room. Sonique was also on my season, and Tyra Sanchez, she was a resident of Atlanta, I believe, when she came on the show. I,
okay.
we, I know she lived here after she won for a while. We were doing the season here.
Okay.
But I believe I don't even know where she. I think she resides. But I'm not. I'm. What the?
Well, you know, queens, we like to hide when we like to be hidden and appear when it's
Right,
time.
right. Pop out of the,
Okay.
you know.
Okay, so let's see what else other little facts we got with this. So you've already mentioned, you know, Shauna Brooks is your drag mother. You're a House of Brooks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Phoenix from season
eh,
3 is my daughter.
okay, Phoenix. Yes, I've know Phoenix. Okay.
Yeah, and so me and Sonique were roommates before. Not whenever we got cast on the show, but previous to being on the show, me and Sonique were roommates. So it's like we knew each
Oh,
other
okay.
really well. So that was really kind of cool to go in there and know that, you know, kind of had a sister. I think they kind of did that with season 2. I mean, they kind of do it with a lot of seasons where some people are familiar with each other. I think there's less of that happening now, but you know, I mean,
Right.
previous, I think there's a lot of brothers and sisters and aunties, cousins, stuff like that, which was kind of cool. Like Raven and Morgan was really close on our season. Um, that's all.
That's fine. That's fine. Um, one of the big questions that I generally ask the girls, if you were recast or have the opportunity to be recast in a RuPaul's Second Chance, would you do it? And actually, let me not take credit for this question. This is a question that Elisa Summers actually, or an idea that she posed, and I just kind of took it as a question because I think it's a cool question to ask you guys. But would you? Would you go back like in a regular
Today,
season
or
or
if I
All
had a,
Stars?
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's giving away a lot more money now. I'd act cool on that. My son's older.
Okay.
He's a giant now. Oh, he's 14 years old and a giant. He on the football team. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing to him now.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
But when he
So
was
you
in
will go back.
kindergarten in the first grade, you know, Daddy had to like edit himself. But now it'll be like, we're gonna go get some college
Okay.
money. So, oh yeah, absolutely. Not only just for the prize money, it's just like you know more going in. You know, it's also been almost what 9, 10 years since my season. So we're talking about like
Hmm.
130 other people have been on the show that I've been able to watch. You know, see see the formula a little bit more as to what to do to get the job done. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
I mean, I think I would do
Okay.
good on the acting um, challenges. I mean, the dancing challenges are not really my thing. And like the episode that I got eliminated on was a pole dancing challenge, which was like literally the opposite of what I wanted to be seen on television doing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay. Yeah.
whenever they brought up the poles and the pole dancing, they're like, "You're gonna be pole dancing." I'm like, "This is the exact opposite of what I wanted to put out there as you know who we are as entertainers. We're not pole dancers. You know what I'm saying? That's really not the aesthetic that I mean. I have a very sexual aesthetic. Like Nicole is very flirtatious and sexual. I think of Nicole as like this unattainable sex siren. That's where the Paige comes in from Betty Page. She's like this unobtainable housewife that you just saw through the window, you can never touch. And Nicole's
Okay.
cartoon and not a real thing, so I don't. You can never really have her sexually. So on stage, I'm very sexual. Like,
Okay.
yes, I get really naked, but at the same time, I don't consider myself a pole dancer. Or it's just not what I wanted my first grade kindergarten son to be like. Oh, Dad, on the pole. You know. It just wasn't. Yeah, so I was kind of
Right.
mortified when I saw that roll out onto the stage. I was like, oh, shit, this is what we're doing this week, pole dance. And I'm not a dancer to start with, so I consider myself more of a comedian and a glamour girl than a pole dancer.
Okay.
So
That's safe to say. Well, it's good to know that you you didn't go in. Well, I can't say it's good to say. You've already said that you're sad that you ever censor yourself, but I guess it's looking
Yeah.
back on your appearance on the show. It's it's not anything that you're like, oh, you
No, no,
know.
no. Yeah, I mean, I would have been more. I would have been more. I would have been more concerned if I was going to my son's school and find out that he was having issues because of something I did on television. You know what I'm saying? That was
Right.
that was my priority and my concern. I guess in the back of my head, which showed on the show. But I mean, because if you ever come to one of my shows, they're pretty not great. You know, because
For somebody that does, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Trust
so
me. To host bingo one night and then drag queen story time, the next day,
right.
it's like, all right, where am I? I
Totally. Yeah,
understand.
yeah. Those are totally two different audiences that you have to be prepared for, and
Yeah.
I feel like
Like,
I was stuck in one more than that.
yeah.
But yeah,
No,
no,
trust
I
me.
don't have any regrets about anything I did on the show, except for you know, I wish I was not sleeping well at night. I'd never been away from my child at that point, and you know, I they take your phone, so there's no communication, and I'm a Cancer is my astrological sign, so I'm just a big mama, and I just worry. So I think my anxiety kind of got the best of me. I mean, the show's not scripted, but it's definitely instigated. Like there's a producer
Okay.
sitting there going, like saying, Sonique, ask Nicole if she was at home, what she'd be doing with her son right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like constantly bring up something to get, an emotion out of you or something like that after you're exhausted and you're already, they know that you're worried because they've heard you say that you're concerned. You know what I mean? They want
Right.
to out of your story, so yeah, just it was very stressful. But now, I mean, when I came home and everybody was fine, I was like, damn, I didn't have nothing to worry about. Why did I? I was like, what was I stressed about? Everybody's fucking fine. I was like, whatever. So, I mean,
Okay.
I wish I would have had more confidence in everybody would be okay. That would stress off. But also, the point of waking us up so early and keeping us up so late, I kind of just push us to stress out. So
Okay.
that's my opinion. I don't know if that's that. Don't get me in trouble with the world of
That's
wonder.
my TED
They
talk.
they tortured us on the show. No, I'm just kidding. No, no.
That's, I mean, it is ultimately still a competition, regardless of how many acting challenges So I'm sure there's going to be a psychological aspect to it, or we're pushing that in
You
any
actually do it. You
aspect.
actually the last thing, like pretty much the last thing you do before you get onto the show is a psych evaluation. So you have to get
Okay.
you have to get speak to your strength, and so all the girls out there like talking about, oh, I'm fixing to be on the show, and so you go meet with that strength, you're not that close. You know what I mean? So because I mean they're calling,
Okay.
you'll do like 100 phone interviews. They're trying to get personality out of you on the phone, and then they actually pay for the. Well, I mean they might not do it anymore, but I mean I would I would think they do it even more now because of the crazies that are out there. So,
Well, yeah.
but yeah, that's the last thing they
Show
do.
them you're crazy.
Yeah, well, they want to make sure that you're not going to hurt yourself or anybody else. I'm thinking.
Well, yeah.
Like, do you hear my mom?
I mean, well, true, because that would be bad to have who is that Mimi India situation and have the wrong person react
Right.
in a much different manner.
Right.
If you were recast in this RuPaul's Drag Race Second Chance, chance for girls that haven't had a chance to be back for All Stars or really blow up in the way, who would be some of the leading names or not even leading names? It could even be other early eliminated girls, but who would be some of the queens that you would want to see back with you?
I mean, I say just redo season 2 all over again.
Okay.
I mean, we can leave off the
I
winner.
mean,
I mean, we'll have to replace Sahara, but beyond that, I mean, let me think. Who would I want to be on
Sahara.
there? I don't even know. I would just, I mean, I would love to have Sonique on there. I think Phoenix. I think just you could do a whole Atlanta show would be great for me.
Okay.
I would love to see Sonique back on there. All stars. I mean, she'd probably end up whooping my ass, but I'd still love to see her on there. But early elimination. I don't feel bad with that. I mean, there are 130 to go through in my head, right?
Right.
I mean, see, the thing is, after the show, we all kind of run in the same circles, so we know each other on a different level at that point. So I don't really even know. I mean, most of them. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I would love to see.
Okay.
I mean, Sony is the only one I can think of right now. Who else I want
That's
to?
fine.
I should have had a list of girls so I can go through them. Like,
I mean, we can think about it. We can come back to it. Like, and for me to even talk about time and being fair and modest, like we're on the low end. Mystique had a lot to say when we had her on, and
oh, I bet.
I've had a couple other people, not enough to say. But think about it; it's not a rush to get to. There's still a lot more going on that we can talk about, and uh, we've kind of touched and bounced around this a little bit too, and I kind of already know where you're going, and just to even retouch this. But even the challenges then, as you said earlier, there's a lot more workroom stuff. Whereas like the challenges now, and even the lip syncs for your lives, where it's like, oh, or they just finished the drag Olympics, and then she had the six that lip synced and that big mess, or clusterfuck, whatever you want to call it, and
Yeah, were they all 5 of them did it or whatever?
yeah, like as far as is it too many gimmicks? Do you feel, or in your opinion, are you rooting for a change in the direction to go back towards the old school feel, or should it be more old school
Well, I mean,
creation?
I think this show is.
You know,
I think this show has changed the level of drag to a certain point where some of the girls are going. Drag is not just a bar or a club job anymore. The RuPaul has turned us into actors, dancers, comedians, and you know we can book theaters. It's like it's changed the perception of us from uh club freaks and deviants to professionals, and I think so. I understand how her giving them more of a heads up on what to bring is better, but then who was it? It was like Monet Exchange or whatever last year. She didn't have, season 10. She didn't have any money, and then she came back for All Stars, and was it her that was broke in her episode? I can't remember. It was one of them. But anyway, and they didn't have any money on their season. Then they came back and they were fully fashioned out. I don't know if that's really better or worse. You know, I mean, is it really just about the clothes and the hair, or is it about the person's talent? And does talent mean that you can afford to buy better drag, or does talent mean that you can make it yourself creative? It's kind of like a different. It depends on how you do your math. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
So I think back in the beginning it was more about who can like on the spot come up with an idea, and a concept, put it on the runway. Now it's like, okay, here's a list of categories. We'll see you in 6 weeks. Hurry up and get your stuff together. Borrow, steal, and sell your blood or whatever. I mean, some of the girls are like, oh, I don't even have a place to stay when I get home. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of queens when they first start performing film, or couch surfing,
Right.
or they're not even don't even have access to their family. So it's like I I think it's kind of I don't really know which way I like better. I think that there should be more challenges where they have to like make it from scratch, and that's not like, oh, you have 20 minutes to get in drag and throw on something from the bottom of your closet for a mini challenge. I think it should be more about, because I mean, I don't know, I didn't know how to sew when I went on that show, but I still can make a garment out of with a hot glue gun and whatever, a bra and a panty, but not and still
Right.
I still had on a full the Gone with the Wind challenge. I was fully clothed from head to toe, and I didn't use them. You know what I mean? So
Okay. Right.
it can be done without knowing how to sew, but I just think it's more a lot of swimsuits and a lot of cat suits, and that's easy. I don't know. I don't want to be like. I mean, the level of clothing has definitely risen, and the wardrobes have definitely changed over the years. Where previous where what was on the runway usually was there at the show.
Okay. Do you feel notice of more designers being presented
Oh yeah,
than queens constructing? I guess. Okay.
yeah. I mean, they're more. I mean, she-
More. Okay.
was it Monet that was having all the trouble with her clothes because she was like, I don't have no money. I don't know which one it was, but she kept
Um.
complaining, But then they put her on seat, and then they put her on the All Stars, and her wardrobe was out off the chain. So I don't know. I don't know
Um.
if that changes her.
Was it
It
Monet or
doesn't
was
change
it
her as a queen. It just changes
Monique?
her. It just changes her ability to get sponsors and things like that. And I don't know if that's a good thing or bad. I don't know. I don't know. For me, not having an opinion, I sure am talking about it a lot. Yeah. I mean,
Hey,
I don't
that's
know how much time they get before they're brought onto their season. We didn't get very much time. It was like, I feel like we found out and we were gone like in 30 days. So I don't know
okay.
how much preparation they get, or even being asked to go on All Stars, because I haven't been asked about it. But there's now the girls are campaigning to be on All Stars, and they're like Tell Rue, and they have these whole there's videos of them saying put me on All Stars with 20 people, and I'm just not. I'm more of an organic. You know, the path that I'm on is where God is taking me. It's just where I mean the road leads me. I'm just not gonna.
Right.
Not really feel like. I mean, it was an accident that I even got on the show. I didn't even know what I was signing up for, and that's kind of been. I never thought I'd be doing drag. Drag was. Never thought it would be a job. It would be my career. It was just never even.
Right.
That was not what I thought I was going to grow up to be. And now there are little kids who are like, oh, I'm grow up in drag. It's just the whole thing is.
And actually, even speaking and touching on that, let me see. Let me find a little bit of Nicole Paige Brooks trivia. It says actually you lived in Germany as a teenager until you were 16, and then you moved back to Oklahoma, where and then you lived in Memphis before going to Georgia, and then somewhere in there you actually started drag as a Halloween dare.
Yeah, I did. Well, I actually started drag in Oklahoma City, and it was
Okay.
I did drag like when I was like I was engaged to be married to a woman. I was working at the Olive Garden and um, just Nene Martin, which I mean, I'm like all, all kinds, all kinds of mail. But I asked all of the people of color that I worked with if they would be offended if I went to, and got the. I guess I was in blackface, but I was, I got went to the theater and I got painted completely dark skinned like Shanae with the dreads and the overalls, and I sat there and I hosted the front door of Olive Garden on Halloween. But I have a saying that 1,000 drag queens are born on Halloween and they all die the next day. Then that one,
Yeah.
she died the next day, and then in Oklahoma City on February 22nd, 1995, I had been going out to a bar called Angles, Rachel Ayers having Does the Stars for people who had never done drag before. But I was friends with all drag queens. They're like, you should do this for charity, for HIV charity, and whoever raised the most money, like during the had like a cocktail dress presentation and then talent and some. Yeah, I was 2 piece that day, and I've been in 2 piece every. two piece, a 2 piece, a 2 piece in brown hair, as the haters like to say. But you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right?
Yeah. And then I moved to Memphis after.
Okay.
I moved to Memphis after that, and I met my lover that I moved to Atlanta with, and I didn't really do drag. And then when I moved to Atlanta, I went to Backstreet, and that's where I saw Charlie Brown's Cabaret with Rave, Rave, the Goddess Raven, here in Atlanta. Shauna Brooks, Heather
Mhm.
Daniels, Lena Luss, Lauren LeMaster, Lily White. Um, that became my drag school, and the rest, and then I just avalanche. I have a thing where I just kind of live a life of yes, where when asked to do something, I just say yes. I really to perform or do something. So yeah, I'll try that. So it's worked out thus
Okay.
far. So I
Hey, nothing wrong with it. Like you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
yeah,
All right, let's see. Okay. That is actually pretty cool. I actually can admit that I've gotten a couple, Halloween drag births before.
yeah,
It stuck.
right.
A-
But
And actually, even one of the pictures that I saw, speaking of that, it had like me and like 5 or 6 other people that were all queens that were born. And of course, I'm like the only one. There's always the one that's
a
still the
survivor, yeah.
queen, but.
That one survivor, yeah.
Right. I just looked at it like, wow. Let's see. Once we discuss drag, then now starting your elimination episode. Is there? How did we rephrase it? Is there anything that happened to fall into your bag from the workroom? That's kind of been our like hidden.
Oh,
Um,
well, I mean, I
yeah.
didn't know that we weren't really allowed to. I mean, from what I understand, like those big old tool chests or whatever, some of the girls even got theirs from that season. But no, the only thing was like that Gone with the Wind episode. My best friend Susanna, she was really into cats, so I got this like ceramic cat or whatever, and I wrote NPB's pussy on the bottom of it, whole Paige Brooks pussy on the bottom, and
Uh-huh.
they actually mailed it to me after the show, thinking it was that I brought it with me. So I mean,
Uh,
that's and I had everybody sign my makeup tape, my Nick, because we got Nick, we got a at that time we were sponsored by Nick, we got a big Nick makeup tape. I had everybody sign it. I have that if I ever get that. If I ever need a cheeseburger. But no, I mean they actually sent.
okay, that's
So I've been running around. I think the only signature because I've gotten everybody's signature from my season on it. and I had Manila actually sign it for Sahara, but I think
Oh.
the only signature I might be missing on it, I thought that probably works for her more. uh, because we
Yeah, okay.
travel in the same circle, so it's odd that she's the only one that doesn't hasn't signed that cat yet. But
Okay.
but that's I mean, it didn't fall in my purse. It ended up in the mail sent to me because I tagged it, I guess, because I vandalized it. They were like, "Oh, that's just this to it." So no, I
No
didn't really.
fabric, no trim.
I think I got like one piece of that that fabric that Ariel just wore, where they said she looked like a mermaid.
Uh-huh.
I got me like 2 yards of that in blue on my feet. That just
Okay.
goes to show you they haven't updated the fabric in the workroom in a minute. Because I got me that same fabric, and I tried to make me a costume out of it and cut it like into actual like fish scales, and I was like, oh. Then when I saw her wearing it, I was like, this is not gonna go down good because I tried to make something out of that fabric and it didn't work. So
Okay.
all I left there
Okay.
was my memories and my $10.
The memories in 10. Now take
Right.
change if there's any.
Right.
Okay. Thinking about then and now, if you had, what would you say would have been your biggest problem back then as far as drag or Nicole Page book personality or whatever, you know?
Um, I just think my editing of stuff. I mean, I don't think it was an issue. I mean, I don't have any regrets about it because of my reasoning for editing myself, but I wouldn't have that.
Right.
I don't want to say burden, but I wouldn't have that issue. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be worried about
Okay.
somebody bullying my 6 foot tall 14-year-old football player son. I wouldn't have that issue because compared
Okay.
to compared to my, 5 and 6-year-old first grader, you know what I'm saying? That would be I wouldn't have that issue. Also, my
Okay.
brother and my sister, they both have children that are, but all of them are pretty much grown too. So, and they all, sending promos to my little cousin school at this point. So, great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing wrong. You've expressed that multiple times, and I really, even having a 4-year-old niece, I understand how looking at the TV and not even from the aspect of a parent, but I see my impact on her,
Yeah.
So for me to be on TV and I'm saying something out in left field, although it's getting me a check here now and there, at the end it could still come back and haunt me later.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And so completely relatable, but as you said, now it's a completely different
Now it's
story.
completely
So
different.
all the
He's
folks
grown.
in
I dare somebody to say something to him now.
the
I'll be up at the school going,
okay.
"Oh, did he? Well, they shouldn't have said that to him, I guess." Yeah.
If you were casting if you were casting a movie or even a TV show based on Nicole Page Brooks, who would you cast to play the role of Nicole and why?
Oh. Hmm. I would cast Sonique because she can do backflips and make it look like I could really dance.
Okay,
I'm like, Sonique,
I
Sonique,
apparently need to.
Sonique, I'm gonna need you to play me that so it looks like I can do cartwheels and dancing on beat and stuff like that. Um, I don't know who would I play. The older version of me would be Julia Roberts. That's the
Okay.
The comparison I get the most. I'm like, of course, people on an Oscar winner play me. But John, that was yeah. I mean, I smile. Next time I ask for a list of questions in advance, so I can do some research. I mean, my intention kind of is to write loosely based on my experience, not my call it solely, but just my, being, kind of a naive military brat from Germany, walk drag show, and really basically my life, really what happened. Me meeting Shauna and becoming part of, the House of Brooks really just put my life on a whole nother path than I was building towards. That's the, the beginning stage of written. It will be. I hope it will be funny. I hope it's sad. But it's
Okay.
funny that you say who would play something. It's really hard about that question, considering when I'm, you know, brainstorming about getting something.
Well, and actually speaking or hearing that you are working on, kind of slowly working on this, are there any other, projects or things that maybe your fans that may be listening, should know about or keep an eye out
Well, I mean,
for?
I've kind of been doing well. I've if you follow me on Instagram or anything like that, I'm always saying on my way to set at 5 o'clock in the morning because I started because the film industry is so hot and heavy here in Atlanta. I was like, well, let me just sign up with one of these casting things, and I started doing a lot of extra work, background work and stand-in work and things like that. And my intention for that is to learn how the workings of a normal set is, a scripted set, not a reality show set work. And
Okay.
so, I mean, you might see me in the background of all kinds of things. I've done a lot of things in drag, like Queen America, Doom Patrol that's coming out now on DC Comics, and Insatiables that was just out. That's the first season of Insatiables. Catch me a couple times in that. I was actually in that as I was on Insatiables as a boy, a girl, and a stand. So, and I was also on Doom Patrol as a boy, and then like, 5 or 6 times Nicole and um, uh, Queen America, which, uh, AOL. I was on uh, episode. I was on that show I'm in that show as a guy, and then also as a girl. So that kind of is helpful that I can do. Like, you never know where you might see me in the background right now, and that's and I'm researching agents, things like that here in Atlanta because I've never been really considering really moving out of Atlanta. I don't mind going and doing things, but this will always be my home. So I'm really excited to be able to have this process to be homegrown as far as I'm concerned. I was born in Atlanta, so but
Okay.
I'm excited for it
Yeah.
all to be done here and me to be able to pursue this here and not have to relocate to New York or LA, which a lot of the girls do. And and I think that RuPaul, I'm not gonna say favors them, but you definitely, it's easier to cast a show when you don't have to pay for hotel rooms, like Christmas special. A lot of
Right.
they're not they're not really up on flying you in for events or anything like that, or putting you up in hotels except for during your season. So yeah,
Okay.
not just her.
So basically, get in where you fit in, make it work, or
Yeah, I think it's pretty well known that I'm not really interested in leaving Atlanta. That kind of be one of the hindrances in maybe casting me is for them to think of my availability to the World of Wonder and stuff like that. That's why when I plan a trip out to LA, I try to do like hosting out there with World of Wonder, World of Wonder app, where we watch the baby being born, all that stuff. But I mean, I am
Okay,
traveling a lot more now. So I've got Virginia, North Carolina, Vegas, Miami, Pensacola, um,
yeah. Okay.
coming up, all for the. So I mean, traveling, I've been doing. But just follow me on my Twitter, my Instagram, my Snippety Snapchat, and my Facebook. Stalk me like a real stalker.
Okay. Of course. And that's cool to hear and to to know that the show has at least even given you a foot or a push in the direction to do something further with a career that you didn't even expect.
Yeah, I mean,
And then to even hear how much,
yeah, it's pretty. I mean,
like,
it definitely never was never mine. But this is where I mean, I'm very blessed because of this. Everybody in my life is because of some way, shape, or form through drag. They are, the House of Brooks. We are very close to family. Fight, we scream, but we also love each other and are there for each other regardless. I mean, I'm very blessed to
okay.
have the circle of friends I have, and they all stem from Nicole in some way, shape, or form. So, like, I get to, like when Lucas was really young, I guess I was able to meet him at the bus every single day. I was able to go to every school. I was, able, even before he was in school, I was able to spend every single day at home with him. And then if I went to bed, I was going to work. So it wasn't ever like, it's afforded me a very blessed life. I could travel whenever I want. Whenever my stepfather was not well, I was able to just, go to Tennessee, and even at when he was in hospice, like one of the nurses recognized me from the show, and I'm not gonna say they gave him any extra treatment, but they did take really good care of him. Once, it's just like this has given me a lot of blessings that I very, very, very. My time is one of just having the schedule that I have, a very flexible schedule, has really blessed me to a lot of outside of the drag realm things that have been necessary to be happy.
Okay. And hearing that is another, thing that's nice to hear because I feel like I've noticed a lot more events or things are happening, and even seeing the girls on their seasons and after their seasons, they become so in demand and so engulfed that a lot of that time they don't have anymore.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Like, I don't. I mean, obviously, if I was on All Stars or whatever, you do the tours and all that kind of stuff. Again, I don't need to be at home with 4 year olds. I think
Right.
my schedule is a little bit more flexible. I'm not as worried or concerned about I would have access to my phone, unlike whenever you go on the show, they completely take all your access away from other things, which is another thing about like creating an outfit is like when you're on the show and you don't really have anybody to bounce that idea off of. Like if I have an idea about an outfit, I'm like, oh, I can send a picture of it to Shauna today, and she'd be like, oh, I got some feathers that'll be perfect for that, or oh, I got some to add to that, or you should use it, or you should edit it. You don't have that ability to bounce off of anybody that you really trust. That was another cool thing about having Nick on the show. It's like, at least you kind of had like, or and I helped a lot. I helped Morgan, and when Morgan won the first challenge, I, 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 he didn't really even know how to plug in a hot glue gun. We put that whole together hot glue. And me and Sonique had worked together for so long. It was like us bouncing ideas off of each other really wasn't that big of a trust. I think that's another one of the challenges. Like you get isolated from your peers that you trust her to help edit yourself or help add when that's taken away. It's like that's a major challenge. But now that you just show up with the outfit already ready to go and everything that really doesn't like. Now they're more about like which on this script that's completely written out.
Right.
Let me go out here and be choreographed by somebody else.
Yeah.
We were. I mean, like when we did our choreography and everything as our group. Whenever we did the group numbers for the second episode, we did all that of ourselves. We didn't have a choreographer to put that together. It was us.
Okay.
Unlike today, where they're like, okay, y'all are gonna do a number together, and you're gonna stand over here, you're gonna stand over here, y'all are gonna clap your hands, pop the stand, da 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 da. And who's gonna throw themselves on the ground first?
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's been brought up again. And a mention of it is a lot more, I guess, handed to the queens
They're more
now,
produced, I
and
guess. I mean, in lack of a better word,
I
they're
produce. Okay,
much
that would be the
we are
best.
than we were. We were like, okay, you four in
Right.
a group. Here's the song, do it, and we'll see what happens. Now it's like, okay, here y'all are gonna have choreography. Now it comes down to, did you pick dancing girls or did you not pick dancing girls? I mean, that's basically what
And right. And then whereas before it didn't matter if you were able to dance or not, it's like, how are we going to win this
how are we gonna
pageant
do this?
or pageant?
We're all not gonna be doing the same choreography that this professional dancer that's been in Broadway shows and all over the Grammys and Oscars and da da da. We're not gonna be forced to. We're gonna be able to figure out how we put
Right.
ourselves in the best light. Now it's like, okay, now it's like, okay, I definitely would be the last one standing if they were picking girls based on dance. I mean, so
Right. Okay.
I may have even
Okay.
been the last person standing in that challenge. I can't even remember, but
Well, there's nothing wrong with a little production.
no.
Do you feel the gimmicks are too much though, aside from the production though? But what about, yeah, the gimmick appeal, and is that
I mean,
too overpowering in the show, or
I mean,
every moment's like meme worthy?
I mean, I didn't ever think about. I mean, we didn't realize that we were turning into memes. Then you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
we didn't realize that was gonna, me. I don't even think. I think were memes even a thing when the show first started when season 2 was being recorded. You know what I mean? I mean, did we even have memes? Was it even called a meme?
I don't think they were looked at, yeah, they probably, I don't think they
I
were
think it was
called,
a.
I
I think
think
it
we
was a
still
video.
call
I
them
think it was a video
screenshots.
clip. here's
Yeah, video clips and
here's a clip of
screenshots
her saying,
maybe.
"I'm from Chicago," but and if you see me in the background of that video going, "Oh God, please stop yelling at each other." That was us being. That scene happened when we were being shuffled from one place to another place. I mean, they ran into that room with cameras so fast when they started screaming, everything, everybody started yelling at each other. And I'm just like, please stop. Like this is the exact opposite of what I don't want to be. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, but that's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. They wanted all that drama. But now they get it with. I mean, and we were also the first season of Untapped, so we
Okay.
didn't even know we were signing
Oh,
up.
that is
We
right.
didn't know we were signing up for another show, and we didn't get no bonus pay. We didn't get no bonus pay for that other show either, because you sign a thing saying they can do whatever they want with all the extra footage, even if it is creating. I mean, they could come out with a movie too. All start, RuPaul's all right now and put it in theaters. We have no right,
Okay.
or no monetary.
Understood.
So we didn't know what we were like. Untucked. What the fuck is this? I mean, we knew they were in there. We knew they were in there filming us because I mean that's what we were. That's where that fight broke out. We were going from we were either going from one of the illusion lounges into down to the runway or from the runway to one of the illusion lounges. We were in like this common like clusterfuck area waiting for them to get the cameras where they wanted to be in the other room when all hell broke loose between Morgan and I don't even know what it's fucking about. But yeah. But who knew?
Well, I
Who knew
mean,
Untouchable
what
would
is
be
this?
such a
This is.
such a
Hey, I will admit, when I first really learned about Drag Race, actually, even my little history of involvement, Alexis Mateo needed a ride. I had no, I literally had no idea what was going on, didn't understand anything, or, the ordeal. But Alexis is getting ready for season 3. Call Me Needed a Ride to Orlando. Um, yeah, and that was like my whole first initial like introduction of like just this whole craziness
right.
of Drag Race, and it's just like, yeah, like to just look at all that from then to now, and to the little bits of details, like, okay, maybe you guys were being locked up in this room for hours, and being, here's all this booze. Like they supposedly told me season 3. I don't know. This is just hearsay for me, but like the whole scene with like Mimi and Shangela, I
Yeah.
guess it was much worse than it was, and just
Oh,
stuff like that I guess we don't see.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, even my solo performance from episode 2 or whatever when I'm doing that terrible pole dance thing. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I mean, at one point I did like some rollover thing, and my hair got. I almost got lost my wig in between, like, because those were like this little stage together or whatever, and in between it, my hair got like caught in between the two stage sections, and I almost like scalped myself. And I just knew that was gonna be aired. So I mean, there's a much worse version of what actually really happened on that
Okay.
show. So I mean, they do edit it. I think they edit it in the girls' favor. And I also have a saying, if you don't say it, they can't play it. So goes from there.
Right.
I mean, people are like, oh, they edited it. I'm like, well, then don't say dumb shit, and they can't play it because I mean, some of this stuff is out of order. Like they were asking, like the untucked, where it looks like I'm flirting with Raven. They had asked us like several times, who do you think is the cutest boy or whatever? And I'm like, well, Raven looks hot as a boy. Even I mean, she looks masculine in drag. But I'm saying, so you can tell she's the hottest boy. And I was like, she's the hottest boy. And then like the bartender's like over serving us, so we're drunk. And then I think I had Sonique staff, that staff, not her shaft. I had her, I had her staff that she used on the runway in my hand. I was like stroking it, but I was stroking it like flirting with the bartender, trying to get another cocktail. And they edited it to make it look like I was flirting with Raven. I mean, it's not like a big edit or whatever, or a big difference, whatever, but it's not, they can't like, it just went on, it went along with the story of them, everybody trying to perpetuate that I was going to have Raven, flirting with Raven. Yeah, when I really wasn't flirting with Raven, I just answered the question. And then they had that little clip of me stroking the things, they made it look like I was flirting with Raven. But I think they actually edit to, so that we don't end up with a lot of hate mail and stuff like that. So I guess if that fight was a lot crazier than it was probably in their favor that it didn't all air. Because I mean, if that's what they said and that got played,
Okay.
can you imagine what they said that didn't get played?
I,
I mean,
I've hung
that was
out with
pretty
a few
hateful.
of you.
That was pretty hateful what did get aired. So
Yes. I I do find that funny that you say that, because a lot of the things that are said, it's like, ouch. But then when you're like, well, Like, I've been around drag queens, and I've been around drag queens drinking
Right.
in a room for 30 minutes with each other. So, more or less,
Yeah. Imagine drag
locked off for weeks.
and they're the only ones you're talking to. And once you're irritated with one of them, then it carries over to the next day. Because it's not like
Oh,
you get to go home and get over it and vent to your friends. You get to go back to a hotel room, and either you like at the end of the night, like I think I usually got like a bottle of wine from the gift shop or something like that, and was like sitting outside with. I mean, to be honest, I feel like I got close with Tatiana when I was actually on the show. Then afterwards, I would say, Sushi, and then of course previous still to
okay.
this day I'm close to me. But getting a bottle of wine and just chilling, drinking it with whoever wanted to join me down at the pool and put my feet in. But I mean, if you were upset with somebody and then you were going to your room by yourself, or you were at the hotel and they didn't want you having story at the hotel. So we still had handlers that would be
Hmm.
like, "Hey, y'all separate here and don't." If we would be at lunch, we would be Mike. We would discuss something that was going on for the show. The producers would come out and be like, "That's part of the story. Don't like." If I was like, if we had been in the workroom talking about our costume or whatever, and then we went to lunch, we broke for lunch, and we continued to kind of like, "Oh, well, you should do this with that costume." They would be like, "No, stop talking about that story." To the point where they would threaten to separate us. We wouldn't even be able to sit with each other if we continued to discuss
Oh,
that
wow.
we discussed on camera. You know what I mean? So
Okay,
it's
yeah.
very like, they don't really want you resolving your issue after hours or anything like that. So you kind of leave the
Yeah.
set mad, and they, because they can put you in different vans, they can call you to set at different times, they can keep you separated if that's their intention. And then
Okay. So
then you
very,
just go right back to set, completely irritated. Or when you get back to set the next day, your interview in the morning is, "So what happened with you and so yesterday on set?" So you get all riled up again, and then you walk in the workroom and they're that person sitting. You know what I mean? So
okay.
it's very
So they keep that if there's tension, they like to
they
keep that tension going and
yeah. I mean, it makes good
okay,
television for us to be at each other's throats. But
yeah. Well, what is the new Rue quote? Are the cameras rolling?
right, right. Don't do anything if it's not on camera.
Right?
Yeah, that's Warren Beatty from Madonna.
Honey, okay.
From the Truth or Dare, the original reality.
Yes,
Warren
yes,
Beatty was like,
because I
why do anything if it's not on camera?" That's what he said to Madonna when she was getting her adjustment chiropractor and stuff. Like, why do anything if it's not on camera? Now look at us today.
this is
Everything's on
true
camera.
because everything,
Yeah. I'm
everything.
like, I usually go live when I'm getting ready for my show. But that's usually just so I have somebody to talk to. If somebody, like, if you ever watch my lives on my Facebook, people are like, "Why don't you ever finish getting ready?" I'm like, "Because I usually just go live so that I have somebody to chat with while I'm getting ready." And then when
Yeah.
somebody comes into the dressing room with me, I'm like, "Okay, bye," because then we can't speak freely because I'm live. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's a lot of time, like Kara Moore, one of my drag daughters, it's usually on Thursday nights that I go live on my Facebook, whatever. Um, and once she walks in the room, I'm like, wanted to talk to her about her weekend. I'm like, "Okay, well, bye y'all. Talk to y'all later." I'll post a picture of the so you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Yeah.
everything is fine.
The amount of involvement we have in social media, but it's actually cool that you're aware because it's one of the things that touch on we go to social media for everything these days, like
Oh yeah,
just without thinking, and there are so many times where like I've caught a viral video or even a video that people are sharing or even at one any of those moments, but it shouldn't even be there to begin with,
right,
or I'm watching it and it's like what.
right,
Like, how could you be that comfortable that you just did that and you're watching it and you're okay with it floating around the
yeah,
internet? Like,
yeah.
all right. More so on TV, let alone the internet.
Very, very. And then also more so when you don't have editing right.
Yeah.
It's like I need nowadays. Like, can I get editing right, please? No, no editing right.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who? Just kind of to wrap us up, kind of roughly. Just a few more questions. Maybe we can do a little, a few speak questions, and yeah. But other than that, this has been an informative and calmer, back to reality conversation.
Than
um,
Mystique was. What do you mean? I'm
I
the.
love you, Mystique, but
Oh, I know Mystique, honey. She likes to be riled up, girl. No, I love her. Out of everybody from my season, yeah, I probably worked with her the most outside of the show, and I've always enjoyed her live. But
okay. Yeah,
who's my
no,
favorite?
look,
Who's my favorite winner of all time? Of course, would be Violet Tosh. She's from Atlanta, Georgia. Who's my least favorite of all
yes.
time? That would be probably the winner of my season because I should have won that season. Even though I have no personal issue with her. But let me think. What other question can I just make it? Who do I want to win? Who do I want to win this season?
Give him to us.
Who do I want to win season 11? Well, my top 3 would be oh, let me do a 4. What's the crazy one that's got
Okay.
no cartilage in her body? She's
What?
real bendy. She's the weird one.
Evie
I
Oddly.
isn't her name weird? Yeah.
I had to think. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
Evie, I like her a lot, and I know RuPaul likes the I don't want to say monster but a monster kind of camp, not camp, but a monster drag sort of.
Club kid.
I prefer the term monster, but but you can say club kid.
Okay.
I mean, I think there's glamour drag, there's monster glad, there's club kid. I don't really think that's. I think she's oddly. I don't think she would take offense to be called the monster drag. I mean, that's kind of her aesthetic. Her
Yeah,
aesthetic
it is.
just kind of freak you out
Yeah,
and to spook you a bit.
yeah.
So I mean, I
Okay,
like her, and of course,
I'll buy it.
Brooklyn Heights, of course, Continental, yay, Continental. And then we have
Yes, we love it.
Nina West, who I've been a fan of. I was there when she won Miss Entertainer of the Year, and she's just always on my radar. First time I saw her at that pageant when she won, um, and of course, we're rooting for Van, but we'll see.
Actually, and
And
even
wasn't Vanjie on All Stars? No,
speaking.
she wasn't on All Stars. But wait,
No,
did she just come from All
not that I
Stars?
know
No,
of.
she didn't do All Stars yet. But I feel like there's gonna be there's a setup for. There's usually a setup for All Stars.
You think she's gonna roll into that? You
I
feel?
mean, she makes good television. So
Okay. She may just roll right into this. You heard it here. Just
yeah, I mean,
stay.
if I was already
Um,
casting All Stars from this season, I would probably crown Oddly, and then first runner up would be Nina West. She would be fine with that, and then you put Vanjie and Brooklyn Heights on All Stars.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean,
Well,
I'm not in
actually,
charge of
speaking
casting.
of, I'm not in charge of the girls.
I wish I was.
um, if what do you feel about actually even like all the pageant history that that we have been seeing as of late? There's Nina West. Now there's Brooklyn Heights. Vanjie was a backup dancer. Backup dancer in pageants. And then we've had Ginger Min. She's a big pageant girl. Kennedy Davenport. And this is
Phyllis Edwards. She was.
Yeah, and that's what I was just saying. In the
Alyssa
beginning,
Edwards won
like you had your early.
Alyssa Edwards won just about every title, but I think she was also stripped of almost every title, if I remember properly. I think she won EOY and they took EOY away from her, and then didn't she win USA and they took USA away from her? I think, yeah.
You're gonna make me consult the interwebs.
Yeah, you'll have to.
Well, I
You'll have to Google
know.
that, but I'm pretty sure that she didn't finish her reign because Coco Montrese ended up getting the title from
Well,
Alyssa because she was first runner-up the year that Alyssa won, and then they stripped Alyssa. So that's why when they had them together on the show, there was drama because they had a pageant history.
yeah, that was Miss Gay America.
Gay
Yeah,
America. That's right. Okay, you're right. I think
yeah,
they think
yeah.
USA is the one that she actually did a full term on. Because I think
But that may sound right then
yeah,
too.
I think
I
USA
think
she
that
actually
sounds right.
gave up that title, won and gave up that title. I think that EOY was taken away from her and America was taken away. I think America was taken away from her because she went and did USA. I don't know. I don't follow her like that, even though it's hilarious. But
It's just like I've got.
I'm not, to be honest, I'm not.
It's nothing wrong
People are
with.
like, "Do you see so and so?" And I'm like, "No, girl. I get on the internet. I do three things: check my Instagram, check my Twitter, check my Facebook, and my messages on all those things, and my email. Four things, and then I get off the internet and go right back to my life. Because if I can't be watching all these girls' videos. You know, I mean, if somebody sends it to me, then I'll watch it. But I can't keep up. They've all got their own World of Wonder spin-off channel, which I would love one if any World of Wonder is
Okay.
out there listening. Feel free to hook me up with a World of that I can film.
Me too. Hello.
Yeah, that I can film out here in Atlanta, Georgia. I would love to do me a Atlanta, Georgia World of Wonder. So, but we'll see.
And last little bit. So, of course, you've always been a natural body queen. How do you feel about the shift of that to see not even on Drag Race, but just out in the drag community and drag world, just more queens that are accepting to basically come more as they are? Do you feel that's hindering, or do you think it's more, every girl for their illusion, or some of them need to kind of step back and
You mean as far as like
come back in, or do you
being
think?
padding or not padding?
Yeah,
The girls that are not. I mean, I think everybody has.
just the whole ideal.
I mean, I padded for a long time, and I mean, then I had a little bit of body work done, which I mean, don't encourage that at all nowadays because it's like so. It's it's more unsuccessful now than it has been in the past. I mean, Trinity Trinity has been open about her silicone work. I've had silicone work, just my I've only had my butt done and a little like one hit on my hip, but that's the only. Before that, previous to that, I was a padded queen because I was in well. But I'm. I mean, I think to each their own. I mean, if if you can carry off your garment and still, I mean, it depends on what your aesthetic is. Edie Oddly
Okay.
could literally duct tape an ottoman to her waist. It would be like work for her gig. But Brooklyn Heights could not do that same thing for aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? It depends on what you're
Right. Okay.
how you want to be seen, what your intentions are. Like I like getting as naked as possible, so wearing Cindy Crawford's Room to Go collection on my hips is not gonna work. But I mean, with corsets and pads and smoke and mirrors, I mean, you're capable of doing anything, and I mean, you sign yourself up to be judged. It's not even like a pageant where you at least you have seven different opinions. You have one person's opinion, and if she likes it, she likes it. If she doesn't, she doesn't. I mean, it really doesn't really matter how anybody else feels about it. But I think what that show does so well is perpetuate a cast that you could go and see pretty much anywhere in the country, and that's a padded girl, a naked girl, a trans, a comedy queen, a big girl, a short one, a black one, a white one. It's camp, the glamour, to pat. I think the point of it is to show how different we are, but yet we're all the same. We all are doing the same job. You know what I mean? I mean, that's pretty much what makes the world go round. It's like we all have our differences, but we're all gonna all have to eat, sleep, drink, try to be man. Get on with it.
Actually, and that is actually a wonderful and beautiful closing note. And I'm gonna halt us there. I feel I feel on that thought that we have expressed so much, and I really enjoy that note for anybody listening out there that is a new or queen or even a seasoned queen, that as far as padding or as far as the look that you want to go for, or even trying it for the first time, that's Nicole just gave you like the footworks of like some of the most solid advice. Whatever aesthetic you're going for, it's up to you. I mean,
it's up to the audience if they like it or not. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't.
Yeah,
Like, what's the dress? What do you think about whenever you're performing? Whatever. I make sure that I like what I'm doing. I like what I have on. I like what I'm presenting, because if I don't like it and I'm doing it for somebody else, then I'm not gonna be able to sell it. You know what I'm saying? I have to enjoy my number, or nobody else is gonna enjoy my number.
Very true.
The point of it is to have a good time. If you're not having a good time, you're not gonna be able to make anybody else have a good time.
And they always know.
Let them have their own good time, girl. If they're not into you with a sofa strapped to your back, then go to another bar that's into you, or keep on doing it until you're happy with what you're presenting. And I mean, your fan base is gonna come if you're a booger or not a booger. The most glamorous queens have as much of a following as the most campy, monstrous queens do. It has nothing to do with. I mean, there's an audience out there for everybody. You just have to find it.
Okay. There you guys have it. That is your closing thoughts on this episode of Drag Dish. I love it.
Tips from Nicole.
No, like I couldn't agree more though. Like in that closing, there is an audience, no matter who you are, what you feel, that you don't have to offer. You will get told no 1,000 times, but there's a yes out there. And as far as going on stage and doing something,
has to be from you in the mirror. You know what I mean? You have to. I mean, this business you have to be. You have to believe in yourself more than anybody else.
Very, very true.
Because it will show.
Yes, it will show. And getting on that stage and like, oh, I'm just here for the money and I'm just faking it. It will show. They will see through it. They will eat you alive. Like, you have no idea.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Listeners on Drag Dish, again, Nicole, Paige Brooks, thank you so much for taking some time out for your busy schedule to kind of touch base with us. We look forward to seeing you in more film as a man and woman.
Man, woman, everything in between.
And women. Yes.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. Yeah, wherever else.
Nothing. Wherever else. All right, guys, this has been this week's episode of Drag Dish.
Thank you. Good night, good morning, whatever it is where you're at.
And that's been today's episode of Drag Dish. Remember to hashtag #FeelYourBeatBoo and follow me at NaomiWynters.com. See you next time.
Do you feel defeated? That's your right. That's your right. Where's my runway? Where's my runway? Where's my runway? Where's my runway?